We should be good. Hello people. How's everybody? Hello Kev, hello Jura Gamer, and hello Sam. Or should I call you Chris or Christopher? Jura. Let me just check Twitch because Restream just told me that there is a potential connection error with Twitch. If anyone is watching on both Twitch and YouTube, please do let me know so that I can check. Yeah. Hello people, how you doing? Hello Bruno. Hello Subuser, how you doing? Hello Mystic Orange. Yeah. Oh. How's everybody's week been? How have you been doing? What have you been up to? Anything of interest? Apparently Twitch is still connecting. Let me just tweak my Twitch dashboard. Which it says I'm streaming, which is a good sign. Please stop autoplaying. Check the dashboard. Mediocre, what's been up? What's up? Has up things? Hello Remix Island. You've been great. Nice one. Hello Mikey. How you doing? Pretty good apart from missing last week's stream. I know, terrible, right? Okay, cool. Twitch seems to be all good, so that's great. I'll leave Streamlabs open, but I'll leave it over there. Cool. Right. Shield still bricked. Did fix it, but bricked it again. That's a shame. On the note of my monitor that caught fire last week or the week before, you might not be able to see. In fact, you can just about see it on the desk. I've just fixed it. It's just turned on. It is all fully working. I'm gonna box it back up, or kind of repackage it back up, and I'll have a fully functional monitor again. So I am very pleased because that's the first bit of electronics that I've had fail on me, and then I've been able to open it up and then fix it. So that's awesome. But yeah, that was just a new inductor from in fact, here are the three components I changed. 2 capacitors and an inductor. This is the one that actually failed, tiny little thing. But yep, replaced that, replaced the 2 capacitors nearby, and yeah, we're all good. Hey Kev, check the subs, mate. Kev, are you still here? Got some orange juice. So yeah, we've had some interesting stuff happen this week. First one is, I could have been more prepared. I would have had it downstairs, but Threadripper. I have one for the first time ever, which is awesome. I've been playing with it. I was actually playing with it today to benchmark some stuff. And it's really good. I can't tell you anything more about that. I can't tell you any benchmark results or anything like that because that's all under NDA until Monday, I think, about 2 PM UK time. But yeah, it is an awesome bit of kit, and I really cannot wait to see the review. I've done it a little bit differently. As you've probably noticed on the channel, I've been changing a few things up and just trying to make things a little bit more my own rather than I know just standard reviews. So yeah, that should be interesting. It's basically instead of a normal sort of CPU review where I benchmark it and I show a load of graphs with lots of comparisons and I try to give us in-depth information on the architecture and all the changes and this, that, and the other. I've gone with a little bit more of a step back approach, mostly because I feel like I don't have the resources right now to be able to make that style of video how I want to make that style of video. Yeah, that sort of video is for people like Linus and that sort of thing, who have a 7980 XEs to benchmark against and all of the other 7900 series chips and that sort of stuff, and people to benchmark them all and re-benchmark them, and 1080 Ti's that actually work because I don't apparently have one, and lots of other things. So instead I'm going with a bit more of a yeah, kind of step back approach, but basically just a bit more of a real world look at what you get for your money and why you would want one, who it's for, and that sort of stuff. And I think it'll be pretty interesting. I would definitely love to hear your thoughts when the video's out on Monday, so make sure your notification bell on and stuff. So yeah. Also, hello Sam. Thank you, Chris, for introducing him. I hope you enjoy the stream. It's basically just a chat where we're chatting. God damn it. Where we chat about lots of tech stuff. If you have any tech questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. It's yeah, it's very free form. But yeah, it's just a bit of fun and a good way to chat for once a week. So yeah, feel free to join in. Also, Jiro with the super chat. I hope this will unlock 5 minutes of Jar Jar. See, it's funny because half of the audience, well, so how many people? 14 people watching. So about 4 of them will know what I'm talking about, or what that means, and what may happen in a moment, and the other 10 will just hate me. Exactly, Sam. That is exactly. Basically, I've been doing on and off impressions of Jar Jar Binks for the last, like, I don't know, 10 streams in a row. Also, hello, Liam Roberts. How you doing? I'm okay. I've been a little bit in pain. Yesterday was terrible, but yeah. OMG, yes. Okay. Hello, Matt. How you doing? Hello, Malcolm. Do it. Do it, please. Andy, I'll pay you a $5 if you don't. Hello, GK. How you doing? All right, fine. Miss, I don't know what you want to talk about, but Miss, I've been reviewing Threadripper. It's a very interesting chip. Please, no, Jar Jar. I'm sorry. Look, someone paid me to do it. When do you think Intel's next i9 generation, I think, or 9 generation architecture will come up? Also, Bruno, on a pretty similar note, very similar note there, so I guess we can talk about Intel's next gen. So I have no pre-information on this. I've got no, what you got? I have no NDA information, so I'm not under an NDA yet. Hopefully I will be at some point, but I'm not yet, so all the information I have is speculation. So to start off on the light side, which is the just new generation of Intel CPUs, in theory what they're doing is increasing the core count again. That will be interesting to see because it's going to kill off a fair number of their HEDT X299 chips, but I guess that's a thing that people do. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, apparently they're upping the core counts. Apparently they're also messing with a lot of the naming schemes, so it's going to get even more confusing. But long story short, we're likely going to see a very similar performance because they are having a lot of trouble with 10 nanometer architectures. So to then come on to Remix's question about next gen 9 nanometer architecture. So that's something, 9 nanometer architecture is something that they've been trying to work on for a long time. And my understanding is that it's not going to be until like mid 2020 or something before we see that. It's something that a lot of people have been hoping for and waiting for, because we've been on this this architecture design essentially for the last 6-7 years, something along those lines, with I think like Sandy Bridge being essentially the same as fairly recent gen stuff, and the only change in the recent gen stuff is just they've added extra cores with relatively limited, you know, kind of actual architecture improvements, at least as far as I've seen. I know, by the way, I know that Sandy Bridge is a different nanometer process, but that's mostly due to their ability to fabricate it. AMD is currently on a 12 nanometer process. Then those numbers are kind of a bit of marketing gimmickry, because if you actually measure the process, then, you know, like AMD's 7 nanometer is actually 9 nanometer, but we're expecting AMD to have something along the lines of 7-8 nanometer process in in the coming months. Or, well, AMD's sampling it. We're probably going to see that next year for the Zen 2 architecture. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Also, Kev with the £5 don't do Jar Jar again donation. So it looks like Jura and Kev are going to have a fight in the comments. And also the Fed56 for subscribing. I don't even know if you're watching the stream, but if you are, thanks for subscribing. Maybe the i7-8700K will kill the new i7. Maybe the i7 won't come with hyperthreading. So that's the interesting thing. Some people are speculating, and there have been some rumors and leaks that the i9 will be the 8-core 16-thread, or might even be 8-core 8-thread, with then the i7s being essentially just the same and as a refresh, with then just the new chip added on as an i9. Be interesting to see. So GK, I wanted to ask something. Do you think console gamers have a point, or folks who decide to stop gaming in order to go back to consoles due to titles like Red Dead only hitting those platforms first? So I think, generally speaking, my experience with people who have consoles are twofold. Either they have a PC that they play most of the games on, but they own a console for the exclusives like Red Dead and stuff like that. Or on the PlayStation side, stuff like Uncharted. So that sort of thing, you know, people do that. And then there are people who just own consoles and who just play consoles because that's where their friends are, that's what they can afford, that's the ecosystem they're brought up in, or that they are kind of a part of already. So those are the two camps that I normally see. I don't think that people really ever kind of stop PC gaming, at least in terms of, obviously, you know, there are plenty of people who will, you know, sell their rig so that they can either, you know, get a better one or get a cheaper one and get some money back, or even just, you know, get some money back because they need it to pay rent that month or whatever. But generally speaking, I haven't seen that many people saying that they have, you know, sold or like given up PC gaming entirely to go play consoles, you know, exclusively. I do know that people go play consoles even when they have a gaming PC because of the exclusives, but yeah, I think it depends. Yeah. Stronk, hello, how you doing? And CSO my PS4 Pro in order to have my 1080 Ti, and Malcolm says good choice. Yeah, that's certainly possible, or, you know, a pretty good choice. Obviously, some people will prefer to have, say, more graphics horsepower instead of a whole console, which is someone like you. And some people will, you know, if they have, I don't know, let's say they have £2,000 to spend on gaming, they might go buy a PS4 Pro and also go buy a £1,500 PC and monitor or whatever, which is also perfectly reasonable. It's just whatever fits your personal preference, really. I'm gonna spin the mic around, so apologies if it stutters or anything. I have a PC and Xbox One. I was considering getting a PS4 for the exclusives. Do you think it's worth it? So Nathan, who's a moderator in the chat, who isn't here because he's at radiotherapy, he has both. In fact, he has an Xbox One X and a PS4, although he doesn't have a PS4 Pro. He wanted one, but now can't be bothered. And anyway, he would say yes, but it really depends on what exclusive you want to play and if it's worth the couple £100 for the console, and then if you want the Pro the online membership on top of that, and then you want extra controllers to play with friends, and then you want the actual games themselves. If whatever amount of money you have to spend to get the exclusive you want is worth it for you, then possibly. Personally, I don't. I own an Xbox 360 that basically doesn't work and hasn't been turned on in, I'd say, at least a year. But I'm perfectly happy with my gaming PCs because there's a lot of them. In fact, there's another desk over there with an Ultrawiide that you can't see, but yeah. It'd be for stuff like Uncharted, Last of Us, and Spider-Man, so I wouldn't need Plus. Fair play. So yeah, I mean, if those games give you a suitable enough amount of playtime that you feel like I would guess to buy those 3 games plus the console is worth what, £300-400? If it's worth it to you, if that amount of money is worth, I don't know. I think Last of Us is what, 40-hour game. The Uncharted's are probably fairly similar. I don't know about Spider-Man's. I think it's unreleased, or is it out now? But either way, if sort of 100 hours of entertainment is worth a couple £100 to you, then cool. Yeah, unreleased. Hello Aaron, how you doing? Is 21:9 1440p worth it over 1080p 16:9? So it kind of depends. Again, a lot of these things are personal preference. Personally, those are 2 very different price brackets. 1080p, unless you're talking about like 1080p 16:9 240 hertz or something, versus 21:9 1440p. They're very different price brackets, so they're generally pretty different people. But I assume what you're asking is, you have a 1080p monitor, 1080p 16:9 monitor, and you're thinking about upgrading to a 21:9. And for that, especially if you're just gaming, or even if you're doing other stuff as well, I would generally say yes. I have an ultrawide, 1440p 21:9 ultrawide just off camera over here, and it's lovely. It's an amazing bit of kit. That one has G-Sync, which is great because I have actually a GTX 1060 powering it, but it's a lovely monitor. It's the AOC AG35352 UCG, I think. I did a review of it, but yeah, it's an awesome monitor. I very much enjoy gaming on it when I can and when I do. And the other thing is that you can take your second monitor, or you can take your current monitor and use it as a secondary as well, which, as someone who has a triple monitor setup, I highly recommend. So yeah, need some horsepower to run 1440p 21:9. Yes, although as I said, I do have a GTX 1060 in that PC, and it runs 6 gig, and it runs it all right. Even in stuff like pub and Fortnite, and well, not that I play Fortnite and that, but PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Rainbow Six Siege, and Rocket League all play perfectly fine, which are the games that I mostly play on it anyway. Rogue Ghost, I have i5 8th gen and 1063 gig. Need help for streaming Fortnite 720 FPS. That looks great. So depends how much money. Depends what stream quality you're really looking to get. 720p 60 FPS. You could easily stream that using Shadowplay, or at very least you could easily stream that using OBS with the NVENC encoder, which is the one on your graphics card, to save you a little bit of sort of horsepower. But that would be my initial recommendation. Otherwise, you can try using OBS to do streaming with the X.264 encoder on like very fast preset or whatever, and kind of go from there. But yeah. Also, hello Dan and hello Joe. How you guys doing this week? Aaron got a 390 that does well. I was going to get a 1070, but it's not worth the percentage improvement. I want a 1080, but I'll wait until the 1180 2080. Yeah, fair play. I mean, the 390 should do all right. It's not the fastest card, and yeah, it's just it should be all right. And yeah, I think 1080 would be a pretty decent shout for it. I do think, well, from the rumors at very least, you're probably looking at an announcement in the next week or so for the new cards, hopefully. But yeah. I'm good, lots on, but how about you? Looking brighter today? Yeah, it's not too bad. I've been very gastrointestinally not great today. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, not been in too much pain. Oh no, I was in pain earlier. It's just it flies by. Yeah, I'm alright. I'm fine. Also, sorry, Remix, I missed your question. Why are older CPUs with similar specs to newer ones slower? Like Q6600 and 3 GHz is way slower than Ryzen 1200 3.1 GHz. I know cache, RAM, and architecture is very different. So yeah, pretty much cache, architecture, and RAM. The clock speed is never something you can directly compare between unless it's the same model. So if you're comparing an 8700 to an 8700K, by default you will know that one is 5 or 10% faster because the 8700 is, I don't know, like 3.5 gigahertz base or something like that, and boost to 4.2 instead of 4.7 or something along those lines, whereas the 8700K is 3.8 3.9 boost to 4.7 single core. So yeah, it's all down to the architecture, the caching, and even the RAM a little bit as well. Although generally with the like DDR2 to DDR3 and then DDR3 to DDR4, you tend to just swap timings for frequency. So DDR3 high-end RAM was like 2800 megahertz, and that was like, oh my god, that's insane. With like CL 15 timings or whatever, I think. Whereas DDR4, you can easily get like 4, even closing on 5000 megahertz RAM, but the timings are like CL 36 for something, a kit like that. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, what do you use for video capture and streaming? OBS and our Streamlabs OBS. So streaming, right now I use Streamlabs OBS to stream. I still have OBS installed, and OBS is the one that I go to for just like capturing screens and like games and that sort of thing. But when I'm streaming like this, I use Streamlabs OBS because it has a few nice extra features like this chat window and the notifications that pop up there as well. TechteamGB next week. I'll wait then, as I'd rather game with 1080 at 60 Hz for a few months than stay with the 390 any longer. It's a great card for me. No radiators on the window. Fair play. Hello Apted, and hello Steve, how you doing? Also hello Stein, how you doing? And thank you Ish for posting the Discord link. So super user, the Note 9 kind of in the title was just a kind of point of topic as usual. It was obviously something that was launched or announced today at very least, and looks to be a sort of semi-incremental upgrade. I think it has a little bit newer specs, a little bit bigger battery that hopefully won't explode, and I think the main thing that I've seen is the new S Pen, which is now a Bluetooth remote, which is actually pretty cool. Allows you to use it as like a what you call it, well, wireless remote, but you can use it as like a shutter button for the camera if you want to, put your phone down to take a super long selfie or whatever, or get lots of people in. You can whatever. Has a super capacitor in it, which effectively is just a really, really fast charging battery. I doubt it's a capacitor because they have a habit of dumping current like it's like there's no tomorrow. So unless there's some sort of way for it to limit the current output without going through just going through a resistor, which inherently just means that it will self-discharge real quick. Yeah. Oh yeah, Mystic Orange has 512 gig storage. The base model has 128 gigs of storage, which is kind of impressive, and still has a micro SD card slot, which means that even for the lower, lower spec one, the 128 gig model, it's super impressive. And obviously the higher end one is the 512 gig one, which is awesome. There are supercapacitors that work like pretty efficient batteries, but if this is a phone you're talking about, yeah, it won't be. It's the Note 9, but it's in the S Pen. It's in the like super thin pen thing, which I assume isn't an actual capacitor. It could be, but yeah, big ash resistor. Yeah, fit that in the S Pen. Sorry, I missed a few questions. Let me find my mouse and then go back up. Remix is a 5 gig, is an 8 gig RX 580 worth the premium over the 4 gig. Only if you're doing higher resolution stuff like 1440p 4K, otherwise no. Anything you're looking forward to from Joe? Not just the 1080 or 1180, but cases, peripherals, etc. Threadripper. It's really impressive. For the person who asked if I can share overclock numbers, no, that would be breaking NDA. No, I can't share those numbers. But yeah, it should be interesting. I'm just really excited to see it happen or come out. Feeling neglected. How about you? Oh. I know I'm off topic, but I have a question on PC Specialist Recall 2. Are the fans really so loud? Is there any mode to tune them deeply? Do you feel it can last a few years? Also, hello Galaxy Dark, how are you doing? So my answer is, if I remember rightly, it was pretty loud. It wasn't, kind of horrifically loud. I wouldn't really have any problem with it. I think the problem that I had with the Recall 2 was the keyboard mostly. So it's kind of up to you. But yeah, I don't think the fans were my biggest problem. What's a good cheap controller for PC? Steering smoothly is not easy with keyboard. So I don't know if it's still cheap because they keep changing it around, but this MSI Force GC30 is an Xbox 360 clone, but is fully wireless, comes with a receiver, it has a built-in battery, has the shape and form of the wired one, so there's no kind of battery bulge or anything, and has a couple of nice things like a little almost dropped it in my drink then, metal interchangeable D-pad, so you can get a little bit of a different feel if you fancy the more sort of standard one or a slightly more rounded one that you can do diagonal pushes a bit easier with. But yeah, I really like it. Also has analog input mode for aiming and stuff in like first-person shooter type games if you really care. Yeah, it's just a great controller, good overall feel. Some of the plastic bits are a bit cheap, but it's the one I use on my PC personally. I do have a Steam controller, which is the one that I use when I'm playing Rocket League, because it has a few extra functionality buttons, including as part of the triggers, there's a second button at the bottom which I use for boost, and I also use the back paddles for air roll and stuff like that in Rocket League. But otherwise, yeah. Hello Z-Dog. I think SCUF controllers might be a bit expensive though, so yeah. I'm so tempted to get the 1920X. Oh my god. I mean, that one's pretty great too. I'm pretty sure we can get a 50 mega ohm resistor pretty small. I mean, possibly, but it feels like that's a pretty big waste of electricity. And Strong, no, I don't want to be sued by AMD, so sorry. You'll have to wait till Monday. I have done overclocking results though, so although those won't be out from me anyway for a week or two after, just because of scheduling. So Threadripper is Monday, and then my overclocking stuff is the Wednesday after, the 22nd. I'll have a shield cable, shield controller for sale if I can't fix my shield, lol. Nice. You have Threadripper? Yes, I do. The 2950X. It's awesome. I love it. Z-Dog, what games are you playing currently? So mostly Rainbow Six Siege and Rocket League, occasionally throwing in some PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and very occasionally throwing in some GTA 5. Also Borderlands 2, just replaying that a bit. And in terms of smaller games, one that I recommend is Her Story. It's a very unique kind of indie game, but it was a very interesting, very engrossing game. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. It's a very fun play though. Patreon leak special. If it was, I wouldn't admit to it. Would you say get the starter or standard edition of Siege? So the Siege community refers to the starter edition as the Trap edition, or what was the other one? Either way, no, don't get the starter edition. It's horrific. Just pay the extra couple quid and get the standard. It is well worth it, and especially now that with the standard edition you get all 10 or 20 of the original operators, so SAS, Spetsnaz, GIGN, GSG9. Is that it? Is that 5? I think I'm missing one. FBI SWAT, that's one. But yeah, you get all of those operators to start with, and then you can much more easily pick up the DLC ops. What's the cane in the background, which is over there, and do you live with your parents? So to answer those questions in turn 1 and 2, 1, the cane is because I have arthritis in every joint in my body, incredibly painful. Comes and goes, which is why I can still kind of like live a mostly normal life. I just tend to stop and scream in pain, and occasionally have to use Tesco's motorized kind of wheelchair things, which like I did today, which was fun. They've changed them up. The control system, as someone who does electronics and plays with it and has played with many a motor controller circuit, the motor controller circuit that's in those electric scooter, like the sort of like motorized shopping cart wheelchair things, is just horrific. It hunts like crazy. It's severely underpowered, and it's like it's basically an on-off control setup, and it's just horrific. So yeah. Anyway, that's that. And to answer your question number 2, do I live with my parents? No, and I haven't done for like 3 years, 2 years, 2.5 years. What do you expect? Proportional control? Silly you. I know, right? Also, thank you, Stein. Well, Stein, you also have to factor in that Google takes a 35% cut of that, so but yeah, so no, I don't. I moved out. This is, by the way, I don't know if I've mentioned this plenty in the past, but I don't know if you know. This making videos is my full-time job, thanks to both like sponsors and stuff like that, and also thanks to you guys for using the Amazon affiliate links. That is genuinely, like, I don't know, 15 or 20% of my total income. It's an insane portion for something that costs you nothing. So I genuinely thank anyone who uses those. They're in the description of every video and all that sort of stuff. The Overclocked UK ones are cool. They don't really pay out that much because there aren't that many people that buy from Overclocked UK that remember to click my link. But it's fine. I occasionally get some Noble shares bought through there, so that's okay. I might just use that as a justification to buy new PC parts on Amazon. Hey, well, that's fine with me. As long as it doesn't bankrupt you, it's all good. And also occasionally the odd super chat. I think that's 18 to 20 pence of my income, lol. Nice. I'm now saving the Amazon link to my favorites. Well, thank you very much. As I said, it genuinely does help. But yeah, this is my full-time job, and I moved out like 2.5 years ago with this. So yeah, don't dare send me a Strix with 35% cut off. Well, 35% of a Strix could be considered to be just the actual PCB. So if I just send you the cooler. Any tips for upcoming YouTubers? I have a gaming channel called Angry Batman 2016 that has 64 subs at the moment. It's nearly 2 years old and I was wondering how I could boost my channel's audience. So I mean, there's a couple of things. So on the general side of things, just regular content massively helps. I think the other thing is making interesting content that is unique to you. It's something that I've been trying a lot more recently, but and it's I guess I've always been trying, but I've been putting a concerted effort to be just a bit more different and a bit more, I guess, unique in how I make videos and the content of the videos as well. But yeah, so long story short, make interesting content that you enjoy making and make sure that you're kind of doing it regularly. Promotion is a massive thing. YouTube in itself will promote your videos for you as they gain traction, as you make, kind of popular topic videos. But the key thing you have to do is politely, mind you, kind of get yourself out there, whether that's through going to events like the Insomnia Gaming Festival and EGX, or whether it's, I don't know, kind of posting on forums or whatever. Again, just like within reason, don't, just jump on Reddit and post your video in every gaming, subreddit or whatever, or every gaming forum in the world. I would agree. Also, super user, good thumbs and good sound is also incredibly important. And yeah, just make it interesting. Kind of hard to do regular uploads when I'm doing GCSEs, trying to find the balance. So kind of funny you say that. I started the channel when I was doing my GCSEs. I didn't do it overly regularly back then, but yeah, I know the feeling. I started doing regular videos in college, A-levels, which is probably why I got a D in computing. Also, Dan, do you remember me getting a D in computing? Because I got a D in computing. Andy's pro tip, get good. And how did that turn out, Andy? Got your degree? I don't have a degree. I have a job that pays me decently. You got a D in computing? Yeah. Yeah, I got a D in computing and I do this for a job. Let's just say that the teacher wasn't that great. I ended up teaching the teacher half the time and it was just an awful course. It's funny that I actually probably learned more about even just the content of the course and what the course was meant to teach me outside of the course, and when I was, just more interested in finding it all out than doing it through the course. So yeah. But then again, I'm someone who is very self-motivated, so if you're not self-motivated, then yeah. I got a U in IT. Same problem here, my teacher didn't know anything, school was full of subs. Yeah, I mean, my school wasn't full of subs, but the head of computing in my A-level college had to come to me and ask me what a Chromebook was, or what the best Chromebook was in a class. Also, I was a bit of an ass in school, so we used to... We used to use a website called Edmodo, which is essentially Facebook for schools, where they make you sign up and then you can they post work as if it's like a Facebook post, but then you have to submit your work through there. And yeah, no, Nick didn't. Martin did. Martin, in the middle of a class, asked me what the best Chromebook was and if I'd reviewed any. But yeah, so anyway, Edmodo is a relatively basic website. It looks like a boilerplate version of Facebook. And essentially, I used inspect element on the web page to change his username to something profane, the parent spy on you code to something profane, and then something else on the page to something profane. And then and then he saw me do that. And then he read what was on the screen, and then he asked if my changes were permanent. Now, for anyone who doesn't understand why that's funny, inspect element is the way that you can modify local versions of a web page on your PC and nothing else. To change his username on Edmodo would mean that I would have to have used... I would have to literally hack the website to be able to do that. So yeah, it would be, I don't know, I would have to do some form of SQL injection, or I guess maybe cross-site scripting to be able to get, do anything of ease there. But it's not like I was running Kali Linux on the system, which, by the way, I almost got kicked out of college for running Ubuntu off of a USB stick, like portable Ubuntu. But yeah, I never actually tried to hack Edmodo. I probably shouldn't have, for the sake of the record that I'm currently making. But yeah. No, Stein, sadly your bank balance is still 0. Damn it, Ish. Hacking, is this now TechteamGB? Oh, wow. To be fair, I get why they're angry with portable Linux now. Yeah, I get it. I don't know, I feel like, yeah. Also, hello, Mercy and Threadripper. We're regaling in stories of currently mostly my childhood of screwing with things in school. Kali Linux, back when I was underage and used to get into neighbors' Wi-Fi while I ran Backtrack Ethical Hacking Linux Nistro. I also get why they're angry with me using their Ethernet, but still. I know, but it's easier just to be mad at them, right? And also, they could have tried to secure anything more than just like the actual Windows installations themselves, because come on. But anyway, yeah. Oh, they tend to call them e-learning environments. Yeah, that's the one. I was asked to explain what the traces on a motherboard were in class. Nice. Remember their Wi-Fi wasn't encrypted? Oh yeah, that was right. Yeah, they didn't do any level of security other than like terrible filtering that you could get around very, very easily. That's the one. I think their Wi-Fi was unencrypted because they still needed to filter the Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi. Sorry, they still needed to filter the Wi-Fi with their internet sensor thing, and they with their internet sensor thing, they couldn't, with encryption enabled, they couldn't filter it, so it had to be HTTP only, which is funny. And yes, I do remember a few people doing some Wireshark packet sniffing. Oh, visitor accounts. Oh, those are the best. Isn't packet sniffing the thing dogs at customs do? Well, yes, but there's also a different version. Yeah. visitor accounts were just the best thing to, like, the word of mouth as well, and it was only through like the techie people, but it was literally just like your friend would say, "Oh, I found out a visitor account like username and password today. Do you want to know it?" Like, yeah, and then you get to like one of the school computers, you try it out, and it would work, and then you'd be really excited just to then not do anything because you had to go to your next lesson or whatever, and then and then by the time you'd got out of your lesson and were thinking about doing anything even remotely malicious with the user account, the user account's password had been changed because it had spread so widely that like there was like 400 people logged into the same user account at a given point. That was fun. I love routed apps for public Wi-Fi. Turned off McDonald's Wi-Fi. Nice. My phone going off. Also, welcome Sam to the Discord. Let me just check this tweet. Sweet. Tweet. I miss those days. What, the days where you didn't have to work? Yeah, they were fun. But hey, I have a like fast bike now. I couldn't do that before. It's fine. It's all good. Oh, and I have Threadripper. It's fine. It's all good. Free money off parents too. Yeah, man, not really. Maybe for you. I got my second job and I go into year 11. Well, nice. At least you have some money to spare. All but friends. Yeah. Speak for yourself. But imagine if you had those things, but with the simplicity that we had back then. I know, it would have been amazing. But, that's just life. And screw GCSEs. They're not as important as you think they are. Or as people make them out to be. Life was so simple back then in school. It was indeed. Are we just riding the nostalgia train tonight? Are we have anything else to talk about? I don't know if Dan, I don't know if you were here earlier, and anyone else, but the monitor that blew up last week or a couple of weeks ago, it's working. It's fixed. I fixed it. The replacement components are fine. I put some electrical tape because the new inductor is way bigger than I expected it to be. And I plugged in the thing the right way around and it all turned on. And it all works. And it's all good. So I have a fully working monitor and I now just need to put it back all together, which is easy enough. So yeah, I'm happy. That's awesome. English and maths grade and you'll survive. I can't remember what I got at GCSEs. There was a couple of A's. I got an A star in business. Did I miss the world record Threadripper 4 £1,700 talk? So sadly I don't have that one, but I do have the 2950X. I can't really talk too much about it. It is an awesome chip. I'm really excited to have the review out on Monday. It does overclock. I can't tell you by how much, but yeah, it's cool. It's a really awesome bit of kit, and I'm excited. Lol, business ain't a real GCSE. It's like general studies. No, it was a A-star equivalent in. I got a distinction in, or a distinction star in the 4 GCSE equivalent business studies, which meant I went, like, I basically nerded out real hard in business studies because I knew it all already, and so all I had to do was do like the grunt paperwork stuff, and I quite literally like did a whole, I don't know, a lot of stuff, and there was actually a lot of information in there. I covered everything from like what balance sheet and profit and loss sheet is, and actually a lot about even just like how to start a company, the everything that's required to run a limited liability company, even a bit about shares and stuff. What was actually pretty detailed. Yeah. What's a 4G CSE? Ha 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 ha. Aaron, so I'm not that mad. I got a Suzuki SV650S. It's the 73 horsepower model, but 163 kilograms dry, so not too bad. Did NAF in my GCSEs, scraped into sixth form, have done okay in the many years since. Nice, nice. I'm looking forward to 5G technology next year. I mean, possibly. I can't remember what the grade boundaries were, but generally speaking, if you got less than 50%, you failed. I'm pretty sure it was like 60% for a C. I think a D was like a soft pass or something, or I suppose soft fail. I heard 5G slowly cooks your balls. And yes, Rick, it does have the power to liquidize cats. You should keep them safe. Oh, it was UMS though. Oh yeah, that stupid system. I heard 5G unblocks your mutant gene. This ain't no X-Men. Not bad. Still haven't bothered to even book a CBT yet. Lol, got the cash, but I'm stubborn. Don't want to pay insurances. It's a scam. IMO. It is. There's a few tricks with insurance. Even if you say that you have a disc lock, that brings your insurance down a bit, and also saying that you keep it in a locked garage or even just a locked compound dropped my insurance from over $1,000 to like £800. So, and that's with a speeding ticket, so it's probably even less if you don't have a speeding ticket. But yeah, it's still expensive, but it's a lot of fun to ride, so fine. Hello RJ, how you doing? I technically have 2, but one got written off because things, speed awareness course. And already it's been 4 years since I started driving, Dan, okay? What? 4.5 years. No, yeah, 4 years. How long is the stream? We'll be closing out in about 7 minutes. We normally do about an hour, so yeah. Lol, you have a speeding ticket, get a license plate flipper. 4 years, such a baby. Alright, man who has a baby. If Jesus was alive today, would he need insurance? I forget how young you are sometimes. Yes, I'm 21. Come on, stop it. Just because I'm better at Rocket League than you. License flipping isn't legal yet, though. Well, you say yeah, like it's gonna change. I'm not gonna bite. Since I tried storing mine, it failed. I've been without a PC, cannot find my NVMe drives no matter what I do. Rip me. That's annoying. Have you tried changing slots? Are they detected in the BIOS? And I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, Andrew was zooming at 120 gigamiles on the motorway. Nice. No, it was 86. Well, I was caught at 86. If I'd slammed on the brake harder, I wouldn't have got the first one. I've been driving fixing HGVs for 22 years and still not got any points. Yeah, but you're sensible. Not detected anywhere but BIOS. Okay. I mean, I have driven, but it was in a field with my dad sitting on the bonnet. Who was sitting on the bonnet and why? Christ, I passed my test 3 or 4 years before you were born, Andy. Oh dear. And on a bike you can't get any speeding tickets. You can if they come up behind you or if it's a rear-facing camera. Can you talk a little bit Threadripper and gaming aspect? Just a little. Not really, I'm afraid. It's certainly not terrible. But yeah, I can't break NDA. So sorry. But it's only Monday. It's only a couple of days, so you'll find out all soon. Not on my type of bike. If you can break a speed limit on that bike, I'll be damn impressed. Your Amazon link is now in my bookmarks for Amazon. Well, thank you very much. It always helps. Yeah. Yeah, so apparently I'm pretty young. Oh boy. Yeah, I passed my test in 2014. So, yeah. Just replace the word Threadripper for the word Chipotle. Chipotle, as Americans call it. Chipotle is great. It's not as fast as Taco Bell, but it's great. I passed mine in 1983. Wow, yeah, you literally were 4 years. You passed your test 4 years before I was born. Nice. I made me a test bench last week. Nice. What parts? If they're being detected in the BIOS, what are they not being detected in? Like, are they not? Are they not being detected in Windows? If they're not being detected in Windows, I would are they not being detected in like the Windows installer? The only suggestion I may have is that the master boot record was overwritten, so you could try some recovery software that you can boot from and then try and recover. Even if you don't want to just even if you don't want to recover the data that's on them, just recovering the master boot record so that they can be bootable again could be interesting. Schwarzenegger will be president. Can be worse than the orange fella. A case of tore apart, a seemingly broken Asus Z78K, but I need a dedicated PSU for it. Nice. Okay, I'll go down that route. Cool. Hope it helps you. I passed my car in 91. I passed my car in 90, bike in 91, and HTV in 94. Wow. Have you considered getting 2 Chipotles and putting them in one burrito? No, I haven't. I don't have any burritos. Or a second Chipotle. This has been weird. But yeah. Oh, nice one, Rick. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Does anyone have any last minute stuff? As usual, we have Kev, who's clicked at UK in the chat. He is a lovely patron. You can go check him out, click his name and go subscribe to him, check out some tech videos. And Stein, you have a shout out this week. Who'd you fancy? But yeah, go check out Kev, he's clicked at UK, makes cool videos. And you can check out the Patreon too, if you fancy. RLTS, go, go, go. I will be in but a moment. Why not a shameless plug? Well, technically I just did, so you're all good. A shame, because 32 beans would be great in a burrito. Sam, YouTube also blocks that type of comment. That's not the sort of that's not the sort of stuff that you want to yeah, you want to be covering or saying. I give my shout out to TechteamGB. Okay, but then I donate it to Sam. Go check out Sam. I don't know what type of videos he makes. I assume it's gaming since his name is like Angry Gaming or Angry Batman or something like that. But yeah, go check him out. See what he does. See if he's worth a subscribe. Gaming stuff. There you go. So yeah, go check him out. Did he? I missed that. How about a Subway wrapped in taco covered in batter and deep fried? Yeah, no. Cool. Thank you, all you guys for jumping in. How did you know I had gastrointestinal problems this week? Thank you, Rick. And yeah, we will. This chat. We'll see you all next week. Obviously, thank you, Rick. But WD 1TB NVMe SSD tomorrow, and then Threadripper on Monday. So stick around for that, and obviously live stream next Thursday as always. So yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, we'll see you next week. Feel free to enjoy the chat while it still runs. All right, see you guys.